I appreciate you coming here today. You mentioned that there are some things that were starting to bother you in the first interview that we had the session, and
Yeah.
that you were not exactly sure how to go about changing them. So the purpose for this session is that it's to help you in addressing those concerns. So I just want to try and get a feel for the things that you were wanting to change. So in order to do this, I'm going to have to ask a few questions just to get some specific information. And then with that, I feel that we can help each other on making sure that we make a difference in what you would like to change. So you like the sound of that?
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Sounds good. Okay. And then just in case something does come up within this interview, I would have to inform the proper people in case there's any sign of like harm to yourself, to others, to like anything that could be potentially harmful to anybody. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. To help start us off, I would like to ask you about what's been on your mind, like what's been bothering you, what tends to cause you stress.
Man, I don't know. I just don't want to do the things that other people want me to do. Like, I just feel like all the time, please him, please her, like please whatever they ask me, and I don't know. I just have a hard time pleasing everyone. I don't know. I just don't feel like I need to do whatever like, what everybody's telling me to do, and what they expect me to do.
Mm-hmm. And then what do you feel isn't going well so far for you?
Mm. Well, just like when I talk to people and when I tell them how I feel, they just kind of kind of walk away or just don't even pay attention to me. Just ignore me, and that just even makes me spark up even more. It just makes me mad.
It doesn't help, does it?
Huh?
It doesn't help, does it?
So not really, but like I'm trying to let them know how I feel. That just because you're telling me something doesn't mean that I have to do that. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody has the right to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, like who are they to come and tell me what to do?
Those are understandably important. I can see why you would like to make some changes, and it would be beneficial for you to address those concerns. So, just to kind of start this off for this part of the session, which one of the items that you mentioned is the one that you feel caused you to come here today? Like, what are you most concerned about addressing?
I think just not being able to just have I guess a healthy relationship with others. And just like it sucks because I want to be friendly to other people and
Mm-hmm.
um, be nice, but it's just that when they tell me what to do,
It just doesn't flow well with you, right?
no, it doesn't feel right.
Mm-hmm. Now, keeping the situation in mind, I want to check on some things. What sort of feelings and thoughts do you get when one of these situations happen? Like, what sort of things are you aware of when you're experiencing an event like this?
Well, I tell myself that I shouldn't be taking orders from everyone else,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just kind of I don't know. It's I just feel like I shouldn't be taking orders from anyone else. And then when I meet people and everything's going well, but then they tell me to do something or they feel a certain way, then I'm just like, don't be trying to convince me or
Mm-hmm.
don't be trying to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And, I just kind of start getting a little irritated, frustrated, and
And does it make
especially if they really try to convince me. I think that's when we maybe get into discussions
and it doesn't make you
or
feel good,
arguments.
right?
Well,
And it
well,
doesn't make you feel good.
it doesn't feel good.
Okay, so that is completely understandable. How does a situation like this make you react?
Well, I mean, it's just I just get frustrated or kind of angry, especially I think the more they fight it,
Mm-hmm.
the then I think the more frustrated or the angrier I get. So it just keeps getting the situation keeps worsening.
Yeah. And what do you usually tend to tell yourself in your mind whenever you do notice that this situation is happening to you?
Mm, What do I tell myself in my mind?
Yeah, when you notice that the situation is currently going on.
Well, I just kind of tell myself that stand your ground.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get your point across, whether they like it or not. Kind of
You
thing.
make sure of it, right?
Yeah.
This is really good progress so far. Now, to come at this from a different perspective, let's analyze the before part of this. Like, can you tell me about how you're usually feeling before this happens?
Well, I think I'm feeling pretty okay. It's just that when I start talking to people and like they tell me some things to do,
Yeah,
I think that's what'll usually get me started.
it usually triggers, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of actions do you tend to do right before this happens to you? What does it usually make you think of?
Mm,
So, right before the point of triggering.
but right before it happens, I think like I mentioned earlier, just don't let this person tell you what to do.
Don't let them control you, right?
Yeah.
And then can you try to think back and see if anything else was happening in your life when you first noticed that these argumentative behaviors were causing issues in your life?
Well, it's kind of been like this ever since I can remember, ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Just never like people telling me what to do,
Mm-hmm.
at school, at home. So I just wanted to do things my way.
And were you usually with anyone in particular at all? Or is it just in general that this was happening?
I think it's just in general.
Oh, okay. Now let's think of after things happen. Like after you get into one of these situations and everything's all said and done, how does this issue make you feel after it's done happening?
I just felt like it didn't go anywhere, like it wasn't productive.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get anything done. I didn't get anywhere. Me and the other person that I was talking with, and it's I think about it and it's just like why can't you just kind of hear them out?
Yeah. So you start to see certain ways of which you could have addressed it.
Think so.
And then how do you usually react when you have these realizations? Like how does that make you think?
Well, I mean, just kind of conflicted
Mm-hmm.
because I know I should be, just be calmer
Mm-hmm.
and listen to other people. But whenever they, tell me what to do, and that's kind of when I start losing it a bit, I guess, and start standing my ground.
Yeah. And then it makes you feel more comfortable to stand your ground, is that correct?
Yeah.
And then where do you usually find yourself when this issue is done happening?
Nowhere.
Just feeling like you're nowhere, right? That it didn't get you anywhere in terms of what you were trying to do?
I just feel stuck. Like I wasn't again productive. I didn't get anything done. Just kind of stuck, and I guess some sort of like rejected
Mm-hmm.
too, because I guess most people don't really want to talk to me now.
Mm-hmm. Like you've been here before, right?
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
So can you tell me about the things that you find to be beneficial to you after these situations take place?
Um, I think it just kind of gets me thinking on how to maybe try something the next time or next when I meet with someone else.
How to properly address it next time it does happen?
Yeah, or just how to change it. I guess change the way I react.
Yeah, because how about what if we think about the type of things that you find that aren't beneficial from these situations?
I'm definitely not making any friends and
Uh-huh.
just not getting along with people.
And you don't like the sound of that, do you?
No, it's just not really. I mean, I don't have nobody to hang out with, nobody to talk to. Just think keep kind of guess scaring people away.
Mm-hmm. And then, what kind of things have you tried so far in order to help your current situation when these events do happen, where you get argumentative?
Well, I try to change things up, but I don't know. It's just kind of hard to just do something when someone like I'm being told by somebody else.
What to do, right?
Yeah, like I do want to. It's not that I want to please everyone, but I do want to just be cool with people.
Yeah, to get along with them.
Yeah.
It's understandable. And then, what is different around you when you notice that you aren't acting in this way? If you can think of like in a time and a place where you weren't acting this way.
Well, I just feel better about myself. Feel happier.
You feel better?
Yeah, like I don't know. I think people will talk to me more. People talk to me more, and just get along better with others.
And that's what you're trying to go for, is that correct?
Yeah.
And then, can you come up with any coping strategies that you might have tried in the past that have helped you in this type of situation?
Well, since I like playing sports,
Mm-hmm.
I think just knowing ahead that whatever I do or somebody tells me something, that it's not gonna benefit just that person, but it's gonna benefit me too.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to think about it. Based on everything that we've touched upon during the session, would you be able to tell me in your own words how you would describe this issue to yourself? Like, how would you explain it to yourself?
Well, I think I would tell myself that because I'm strong-willed or hard-headed, you can, I guess have your own interpretation, but
Uh-huh.
I guess my hard-headedness is kind of not allowing me to establish new relationships or strengthen
Mm-hmm.
like relationships that I already have, because I just keep breaking keep breaking the boundaries, I guess, or not, just basically shutting everybody out and not taking in what they have to say or what they tell me, what they have to tell me.
And you feel as though you're putting up walls?
Sort of, I guess, yeah.
And then let's touch back on some feelings that you said this issue makes you feel. How strong would you say those feelings are, like on a scale of 1 to 10, where you would like to have like friends and be able to like mix with everybody? Like, how strong would you say those feelings are in a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 being like you don't really care, but 10 being you do want to be able to do that?
A 10.
A 10?
Yeah.
And then, how often would you say that this issue does happen for you? Like, how often do you notice it?
It happens pretty often.
Pretty often?
Yeah.
Like, within school and work?
Yeah, I would say that it probably happens more at school.
Mm-hmm.
That'll happen too. Not so much, but it still does at work. And I know sometimes, like, my coworkers and things like that, like, I do need my job to pay the bills.
Yeah. And with school, would you say that it's a bit more difficult to do assignments within class with this behavioral?
I guess I don't know, or maybe it'd be the same as work, because I just go to school and I just kind of sit in the corner, don't want to talk to anybody much, because I also don't want to scare anybody off, or things like that.
Yeah.
I choose not to participate, or, just try to stay in my own lane.
Yeah.